Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are jumping headfirst into the January transfer window. It is a month-long whirlwind of frantic deals, shocking departures, and really, decisions that can make or break a club's entire season. So, let's get right into it. You know, the second the clock strikes midnight on January 1st, it's like a starting gun goes off in the football world. The winter transfer window is officially open, and with it comes a storm of deals, drama, and some seriously high-stakes decisions. And believe me, we're already seeing massive signings and even managerial meltdowns, and we're just getting started. As speaking of meltdowns, the biggest story right out of the gate is coming from West London, where a crisis that was kinda simmering under the surface has just completely boiled over. Right as the window opened, Chelsea Football Club and its head coach, Enzo Maresca, went their separate ways. It was a move that, honestly, felt both incredibly sudden and totally inevitable at the same time. So look, the tension around Chelsea's manager, that wasn't exactly a state secret, but the sheer speed of his exit on New Year's Day of all days was still a huge shock. It was a massive signal that whatever was happening behind the scenes had become completely unsustainable. So, how did it all unravel so fast? Well, it was pretty much a perfect storm. You have these cryptic public comments, then you find out he's having secret talks with a massive rival, and all the while, there are these constant internal battles over how to manage the players. The relationship was it was broken beyond repair.
And the search for his replacement is already on. Now, this is where it gets interesting. The leading candidate, 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗀, has a very, very close connection to the club's ownership because he already manages Strasbourg, which is Chelsea's partner club. That could make for a pretty quick appointment. But they are keeping their options open, and there are some other really big names in the mix as well.
Okay, so while Chelsea is in turmoil trying to figure out who's in charge, the rest of the Premier League is not waiting around. Not at all. Clubs are already out there spending big money to reshape their squads for the second half of the season.
Honestly, the amount of money flying around already is just staggering. We are literally just a few days into the window, and clubs like Crystal Palace and West Ham are making some seriously aggressive and expensive early moves to strengthen their attacks. And the biggest fee we've seen so far? £35 million for Brennan Johnson. Just think about that. After finishing last season as Tottenham's top scorer, Crystal Palace is shelling out a huge sum to bring his firepower to their squad. And it's a huge deal for them, especially as they compete in Europe for the first time in their history.
And over at West Ham, it really is a full-on revolving door. They're not just buying, they're selling too. So as they bring in strikers like the Portuguese star Pablo and Lazio's Tati Castellanos, they've also sold their young winger 𝗪𝗓 to Sporting. It's a perfect example of how this window is just as much about who's leaving as it is about who's arriving. And you know, it's not all about these massive blockbuster deals. Sometimes you get a story that just feels good. And in one of the more sentimental moves so far, Brighton legend Pascal Gross is coming home for an absolute bargain. After his playing time in Germany started to dry up, he's coming back to the club where he first made his name. But these transfer moves, they aren't always about tactics and money. Sometimes, their real reasons are deeply personal, and they remind us that at the heart of this multi-billion-dollar industry, there are actual people. I mean, just take the case of Fiorentina's 23-year-old midfielder Amier Richardson. He didn't just quietly ask for a move. No, he's gone public, telling the media he wants out. So what on earth pushes a player to take a step that drastic? Well, first, it was this huge professional frustration. Richardson felt like his trust in the club was just shattered. He was told he was a key part of their future plans, and then, boom, he was suddenly frozen out of the team and told to find a new club late in the last window. But then you layer this on top of all that professional turmoil, an unimaginable personal tragedy. While he's trying to figure out his career in Italy, he's also grieving the death of his father, thousands of miles away from his family and his entire support system.
So when you put it all together, you realize this isn't about getting a bigger paycheck or chasing some trophy. His desire to leave is about finding stability and support after a few months that have been completely destabilizing. He wants to go home, to his boyhood club, Nice, just to be in a familiar place with friendly faces. It's such a powerful reminder of the human element in all of this.
You know, the transfer window isn't just about finding a quick fix for the here and now. It's also where the groundwork for future success is laid. Europe's elite clubs, they're playing chess while a lot of others are playing checkers, making moves that might not pay off for years.
These giants are always playing the long game. Take Bayern Munich. they just sealed a deal for a 17-year-old defender from Ecuador. At the same time, clubs like Barcelona and Inter are using the loan system really strategically, sending their future stars out to get that all-important playing time.
And a key tool for this long-term planning is this thing called a loan with an option to buy. So how does it actually work? Well, look at this. Bayern Munich just sent their goalkeeper 𝗪𝗵𝟏 to Southampton. It's a 6-month loan, but, and here's the clever part, if he does well, Southampton can buy him for a pre-agreed price of €8 million. It's a fantastic low-risk, high-reward strategy for everybody involved.
All of this really leaves us with one central question. What is the true purpose of this chaotic month? Is it about a team like Crystal Palace spending big for immediate glory in Europe? Or is it about a club like Bayern making these shrewd investments in teenagers that could pay off for years and years to come? The answer, of course, is both. And that is what makes this whole thing so fascinating to watch.